Is it right now, Kat? Holy cow. How about starting this season by thumping Cleveland? We'll do it. Let's talk about a Cowboys dominant defense and why Mike McCarthy won't let us have fun. DLLS Cowboys Podcast starts now. Here we go. We accept. We'll start the season that way.
I accept.
Yeah, we accept. I will accept that as the first game of the season.
Right.
Cowboys beat the Browns. I don't know. I walked away 33-17.
Jeff, you are being too humble. The Dallas football Cowboys and Dakota Prescott just beat a playoff team. Is what you need to say, sir. A number one defense is what you need to say, sir. A franchise quarterback. All this little narrative, all this little talking that the networks, the 3 and 4 letter, not DLLS, that's a cool 4-letter network. But all the other 4-letter networks tell you what your team and what your quarterback can't do. Yeah. Chat, can we get flames? Can we get water? Can we get fours? And can we get bows and arrows for Brandin Cooks scoring the touchdown, please? And Turpin went crazy. Can we get love for our Cowboy players? Please, Jeff, take over.
Yeah, for people who are on the DLL, the 2 L's, man.
It's
Dallas
whooping on you today.
DLLS. For the people who are on that channel, I know we're on yours as well. This is Voch Lombardi, the greatest Cowboys content creator on planet Earth, and he is part of the DLLS Cowboys Podcast post-game show these days. And so, hi, Voch. It's good to see you.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me. Shouts out to DLLS.
Damn it.
And, hey, man, we're here to give y'all the best post-game show we could possibly give you. Shouts out to you. Salute.
Aisha Morrison is here, two eyes.
I am.
Mm-hmm. Analyst and really tough to watch a game with.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, fun, but she stresses out. They beat them by 100, and I feel like a lot of times Aisha's like, I said, we can't. This is not.
To be fair,
perfection.
To be fair, though, the Cowboys should have put 40 or 50 points on the board, but they only ended up with 33 or so.
Yeah, they half-assed it.
Yeah, so we did not do a good enough job, but it is what it is. We'll take the win.
I accept. I guess sometimes I do. What's it called when you care how they won?
Overanalyze.
What's it? No. There's a certain word I'm thinking of. I'm going to stop the show until I think of it.
While Jeff is thinking of that word.
When you're trying, like you won the game, but people are like, yeah, but they, and when you...
Nitpicking?
Yeah, there's
Can somebody get him a dictionary,
There's
please?
a different word.
A thesaurus, please?
Somebody else give me a different word for that. I can't go until I get the word.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not going to this game. Somebody
cross-examine?
No.
Overanalyze?
No. No.
Jeff, you suck.
Not that one either.
Okay, we're good.
How you guys doing though? Huh?
We're
that
good.
was fun.
We're good. Yeah. This defense looks like they got something, man. I mean, these guys were decisive, and they were just really flying around out there. They sure tackled really well, and this pass rush really got after it with Cleveland's offensive line kind of being depleted. If I'm not mistaken, DeJuan Jones had to step out during this game, and Dallas just took advantage of every single weakness they had on that offensive line.
Yeah, it's fun to go look at the disparity on getting after each other's quarterbacks. I'm going to give you the QB hits from each team.
Sure.
The Cleveland Browns hit Dak 4 times.
I hate that.
The highest number on the team was 1. 4 people hit him 1 time.
Okay.
DeMarvion Overshown hit Watson twice. Erick Kendricks did it twice. Tank did it 4 times. Parsons did it 4 times. Marshawn Nealon did it twice. Osa did it once. Jordan Phillips did it once. 16-4 QB hits.
Damn. Yeah, he don't need to take a nice ice bath after this.
Well, as long as it's by himself.
Well, if we had to break down keys, and I guess, what was so good about this game, I guess one of the big things that we could talk about is Michael Antoine Zimmer. I don't know if that's his real name for real, but that's what I call him. But Michael Antoine Zimmer, like, everybody looks different from bottom to top, right? And, this isn't just, okay, well, all right, well, D-Law's getting sacks again. You know what I mean? And Micah's not just in one place. Like, Micah moved around. I was expecting Micah to move all over the place, but Micah moved around just a little bit. How about your rookies, Kalen Carson? How about Nealon? Those guys stepped up, and, I'm not going to poo-poo on anybody from last year's class. That's not my business to do that. But the
Which
draft
ones?
Mine's in school making them. But the draft picks from this class, Carson looked like he fit right in. Marshawn Nealon looked like he fit right in. Cooper F&BB looked like he fit right in. And Tyler Guyton and company did not get us killed for Myles Garrett today. So I think it was a W from all fronts.
With respect, I thought that Mozzie had a pretty good game. The film will tell, but he seemed like he didn't get reached as much, and he stayed steady during these double teams that he had to take on too.
It is. I'm with you that it's tough to talk about an individual D tackle when you're watching the game because you're kind of watching the ball more than that.
But he wasn't getting blown off the ball.
Well, and they couldn't run the ball.
Yeah.
Cleveland couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, at all.
They couldn't really do much of anything. And yes, multiple people in the chat, Mike McCarthy robbed us. He robbed us.
Well,
and I get it. Because I would have done the same thing.
But the officials kind of robbed him because if I'm not mistaken, I can't wait to hear from Mike McCarthy because it seems like he was upset. It was supposed to be 4th down.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, what are you
That's not what I'm talking about.
You talking about the field goal?
I'm talking about when he didn't let us kick a 71-yard field goal.
Well, the field goal, I'm confused.
That's within range.
How did we get to that? No, but how they called it? Oh, it was
That's right before half.
Delay.
That was in the second half.
It was a delay of game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was that ruined it for all of us.
Aubrey could make a 71-yarder.
Probably.
Sure. So there's a lot of elements to the win and to the loss, but I don't want to talk negatives right now because there are some negatives that we could have went through. I think play calling offensively got a little lax at the end. I think it was some things we could have done. Mm-hmm. But while we're saying positive things, I got 2 more guys I got positive things to say about. I was very critical of some of your teams guys, right? Because when you're roster building, you want to keep as many quality players as you can, as many young, talented guys as you can. There were some young guys that we let go that I wanted to keep. So when I'm looking at guys like, all right, CJ Goodwin, I'm looking at guys like Turpin, I want to see what you can do for me, right? Outside of just being a teams guy. CJ Goodwin didn't really prove too much to me, but KaVontae Turpin with the touchdown. What you writing down? What you got?
Can you guys? Can you? You won't be able to see my notepad.
They can't see that.
Single shot. We can single shot. No, they still can't see it. Okay.
They can't see that.
I wrote it down because it was really funny. Because when they were about to punt, because Turpin had done the thing where he runs too far forward, then he runs back, and then he catches it, and then sometimes you get called for holding. But before the really good one,
okay.
Quote: "Come on, Turpin, do anything."
I said that.
Vach. He caught the ball 6 seconds later and ran it for a touchdown.
I called it.
Come on, do anything.
But I will say, though, Jeff, even though Turpin gave you value as a return guy, I don't want to see him dropping passes over the middle if we're going to put him in slot. I want him to do better slot things. But just as, hey, if you're not going to play any offense and just be a Devin Hester type guy, he took one step closer to being a Devin Hester type guy today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and y'all talk about, this is the first game of the season. I think we saw a couple players, Kendricks and Brandin Cooks, have to go out dealing with some dehydration, needing to get themselves together. Yeah, this is the first game of the season, man. So all things considered, this is a fantastic start for your team.
I just want to say,
going on the road. What's up? What you got to say?
Do you see all the fours, all the water, all the bows and arrows? Can we get nose wipes in the chat too? Can you see how interactive our damn audience is? See our audience going crazy today. You see how excited they are to tap into the DLLS post-game show?
Yeah.
Can I get a Kavanaugh for my audience, please? A Kavanaugh.
Can we get the Kavanaugh? Do you have the Kavanaugh? Yeah, we keep that.
And thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all for being here.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Aisha?
Nothing. No, nothing. Because you had mentioned, that you felt like things kind of slowed down offensively towards the end and stuff. I agree. But as you were saying, Jeff, for what? What do you need to do anything extra for at this point? I thought there were some drops from CeeDee Lamb, and Dak made some not so great decisions towards the end. But at the same time, it's like, no preseason, give them a chance to grow. Really like what we saw from them defensively overall and offensively in the first half. Being able to make some things happen against this defense is not nothing to snuff at.
No, it's I think what's interesting is like in the first half, you're watching the offense and it's like, hell yeah, this is great. This is fun.
Right.
Everybody's doing great. We were talking about how Voch was going to have to apologize for being so negative about Zeke because Zeke was so incredible.
Oh, my God.
And then
10 for 40 can kiss my ass. Can I cuss on this? Y'all ain't finna come on here and tell me I need to I saw some of y'all in the chat already. I need to apologize for Zeke. Apologize for 10 for 40. And that touchdown was wide open because Zach Martin is a gangster. Y'all better go on somewhere. Go ahead.
No, my thing is like I needed to just see him. I feel like we barely got to see him during training camp. We didn't get to see him at all during preseason. We actually got to see we have some tangible evidence of what he looks like right now. So that's all I was looking for.
Yeah, here's the thing. So if you want something on Zeke, I would say, yeah, he looked fine. Like he can still do all of the running back stuff. The difference is that he's not as fast or as quick as he was, and it's not close. Like the little swing pass where he had the run and start, and it was like 36 seconds later he got out to the outside and got tackled. Yeah. But I don't want to fight with y'all. Zeke looked good, and I'm glad he scored a touchdown.
I will fight with every last one of them in there.
I don't want to fight any of you.
All right,
no one wants to fight. He's the only one that wants to fight.
Voch wants to fight all of you.
What? So you mentioned the run game. What did you think of the offensive line today?
I think good start.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a little bit, the hard part is I feel like the Cowboys defense was so good that some of the other stuff, I'm like, I don't know. Because in the first half, it was like, bing, bang, bang, kicking their butt. And then in the second half, the Cowboys offense was like missed throws. And you had moments when Myles Garrett was kind of giving Guyton the business. And Steele got beat by Zadarius. And it's like, so it's kind of up and down. But I think that at least the first half gave me some hope that they'll be able to run the ball better than they did a year ago.
Oh, absolutely.
But the numbers don't say it because by the end of the game, your running backs averaged like 3.5 a carry.
Right.
But it's also you're up a lot and you're just doing the generic smash in there, go get 2 yards, let's move on to the next play.
Sure.
So I would say good start for Guyton and BB and the offensive line.
Okay.
Like not hell yeah, but like yeah. I'll take that.
Yeah.
We're going a good way.
But Jeff, I will say this, though, I have it written down here. The run game was kind of muddy, but that's a good defense, though.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, and look.
At the end of the day. If you ever say at the end of the day, you have to say it like Steven.
Well, it's just like anything. Mike McCarthy said that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just like anything, though, right? Like, I'm glad that we're not just beating up on the Giants day one, or we're just beating up on the Washington Football Wizards, or just some team that we're just flat out better than. Like
football Wizards?
Like, of course we all kind of felt like, Deshaun Watson was a little trash and that he couldn't really carry their guys, whatever. But at the end of the day, that is a defense that we need to test ourselves against. Like early week one, early in the season, we need to test ourselves versus those dudes, versus a Myles Garrett, Zadarius ain't no scrub, Dalvin is humongous, all these other guys, JOK, like that is a defense that's worth testing yourself against. So yeah, even though Z got 40 yards, Rico Dowdle got like 29 or something like that. Even Hunter Lippy got involved to some capacity. And Dak Prescott with a tush push. I'll tell you what, damn it, can y'all see me? A damn quarterback sneak with Cooper Beebe is better than a quarterback sneak with Tyler Biadasz, damn it. Kavanaugh. You damn right it is.
Oh
what does that have to do with me?
I don't have my button, so we using yours today.
Yo,
so I will say the offensive line, I think it's a bright start because we didn't absolutely die versus this really good defense. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I wanted to definitely add to that. This is a new defense for you, though, too.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. I mean, whereas we're talking about install and things like that, I mean, even though their offense has been together, the Browns offense, this Cowboys defense, this is a totally different scheme, totally different feel, a lot of new players, and they were able to come out there and put some good film on tape. I'm telling you, like, somebody's looking at DeMarvion Overshown like, hey, man, you got to deal with him. I actually saw them, like, use him as a spy a couple times today.
DeMarvion Overshown is going to get some more time in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. DeMarvion Overshown might be a freaking superstar.
Yeah,
he's special.
He might be a super because there's the guys where a couple of times when there were plays that he ended up making in this game, I remember because you couldn't see what number it was yet, but like Watson's trying to roll right, and you just see that somewhere towards the secondary is a guy who's too big to be going that quick and that fast,
flying,
and you're like, Watson's going to find out in a second and a half that where he thinks he can go is not happening. And it's because DeMarvion Overshown is awesome.
Yeah.
And he's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
We have about 3,200 live viewers right now, so no pressure. We just going absolutely crazy right now. Shouts out to all y'all for tuning in, though. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that the Cowboys were almost a little secretive with Demo and all that? Because when we were just kind of watching and we were looking at the rotations, we're like, okay, cool. Clark's getting a lot of first team. Louisville's getting involved. We know Kendricks is the main guy. And then just all of a sudden, Overshown is just obliterating everything. Was it like a secret for y'all?
No, because I'm going to tell you guys a secret about last week. Or was it this week? At some point this week. When they did they put out the official depth chart.
The depth chart.
And it was like, and I forgot who brought it up. Somebody brought it up. And they're like, well, Leofau is the starter, not Overshown. And I was like, I was at camp.
Just kidding.
No, he's not.
Just kidding.
Like the guys who are going to play are Kendricks and Overshown.
Right. Yeah.
And then when another guy comes out there, it'll be Clark or Leofau.
Yeah.
But Kendricks is going to call it, and Overshown's going to fly around and smack people.
No. So I don't think that it was a surprise because last year on the draft show, those linebacker coaches came on there, and the way that they talked about DeMarvion Overshown and how heartbroken they were that he was injured, I knew for a fact that they had big plans for him. And like I said before, like Overshown is a guy that like when you meet him, I don't know if you guys have had the opportunity.
Didn't you say he calls you Littlefoot?
He does call me Littlefoot.
Auntie and Littlefoot.
Listen, y'all telling all my business. This is not going to be on camera.
Aisha can get good Cowboys information.
Yeah, I guess. No, I mean.
Littlefoot knows what she's doing.
I'm growing, y'all. I'm growing.
That's false. April Fools.
Yo. But no, seriously, I think that, getting to see it all kind of come together for him, and he's different. Like, you got to remind yourself this guy's coming off of ACL with the way he's moving. Yeah. It's not normal. And I don't want to sit up here and dismiss it like it's normal.
100%.
Give us 2 minutes, and we're going to talk about the Empire Impact Player of the Game, and I'll give you a spoiler. We might have already mentioned his name.
We're cheating.
We got that for you on the DLLS Cowboys postgame show featuring Vach with Jeff and Aisha. But before we get there, I do want to tell you guys about our guys at Shady Rays. I've got 2 pair. Give me 2 pair. On the way to the house. What?
I got some on right now.
Are you quoting Nelly?
Yeah, I was quoting Nelly. I have 2 pair of Shady Rays that are on the way to the house because I wanted 1 pair for V-ball and I wanted 1 pair that are kind of the aviator style. And Shady Rays has all different styles. And if you use the code DLLS at shadyrays.com, 35% off of their polarized sunglasses. And they have so many different awesome styles. They look so good. They're so nice. They have the best warranties. So whatever you want. They also have a bunch of different color schemes. So like your favorite team, they probably got some Sun G's in your favorite team's colors. So check them out. 5-star rated by over 300,000 people. And if you don't love your shades, you can always exchange for a new pair. Return worry-free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deals of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code DLLS for 35% off of your beautiful sunnies. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. And also shout out to our guys at Game Time. Because anytime that I want to go to a game, a concert, a show, the opera,
comedy show,
comedy show,
the opera. You don't strike me as an opera guy.
Well, you shouldn't judge me.
I'm sorry.
You're right. I've never been to the opera. But no matter what tickets I was looking for, I would go to our guys at Game Time because they're absolutely incredible. And they have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting the tickets for your favorite live events even easier. It filters out the fluff to make sure that you're only seeing the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. Some of my favorite things about Game Time, curated deals, make it easier to find the best price on great seats. You can see the view from the seat before you buy. Low price guarantee. All-in pricing, you turn that on and bam, you'll see the whole total up front. No surprise fees at checkout. The lowest price guarantee, or they'll credit you 110% of the difference. So, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Get the Game Time app, create an account, use DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. DLLS, $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Please hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
And the subscribe button.
Do that too.
On youtube.com/@DLLS_sports.
Right.
And do not stop putting flames, water, fours, nose wipes, bows and arrows, and legs in the chat, please.
What emojis do you use for nose wipes?
CeeDee Lamb, when he did.
I
but
know
there is
that.
an emoji.
No, what emoji do you use?
Pull up the chat. You either see a nose and like a finger, or you see like the blowing my nose emoji joint, you'll actually see.
Is there an anteater emoji?
Who the hell is that?
Anteater, the animal.
An anteater is like Arthur.
I would like to have anteaters in the chat.
But who does that represent though? Like what player does that represent?
In a very personal way that we won't discuss on the show.
All right.
So anyway, it is time.
See, look, there's the nose for CD.
Okay, yeah, that's.
They're blowing their nose.
Yeah, it's like nose. Yeah, it's like.
Oh, okay, got
thing.
it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
That. Okay.
Yeah, it's time for our Empire Impact Player of the Game. Empires who that's who put in our flooring. Empire today, and they're going to present to you the game of the day via us. And you can always hit them up and get yourself some wonderful flooring. Okay, do it or else. I picked a DeMarvion Overshown, but we already talked about him, so now I feel pressured to pick someone else.
Cheated.
Pick somebody else.
Brandon Aubrey scored a lot of points.
He led the team in points.
Erick Kendricks he was credited with 2 sacks and a pick. Although Micah got him the pick. Is it wrong to give it to a name that's too easy? Like, I could give it to Micah Parsons, even though I'm pretty sure that his box score says he had like 2 tackles and a sack.
Could you give it to a coach?
Which one?
Michael Antoine Zimmer. Because your linebackers look brand new out there.
You got to
they are
stop
brand
calling him
new.
Antoine.
Schematically,
There's no chance his middle name's Antoine.
his middle name's Antoine.
No, there's no chance his middle name's Antoine.
Y'all Google Mike.
I'm on it.
And it's Antoine with 2 N's.
I'm on it.
It's not Antoine.
It's Antoine with 2 N's.
I'll do you one better. He doesn't have a middle name.
Because it ain't on there. Like, it's his Antoine. Why would they put Antoine on Wikipedia?
Why
like,
wouldn't they?
Like, come on, man. Like,
Okay,
like,
sure, you can give it to whoever you want, I guess. The Empire Player of the Game can be whoever you want.
I think the temperament of this defense, the damn speed, the damn smarts. I mean, of course they fear Zimmer, but hey man, I don't want to mess up, man. I don't want to be whispered. I don't want no problems with Zimmer. Like, it just seems like so much accountability is in that room. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say anything bad about the last administration. They did some great things, but it was much more of an arm around you, it's okay guy. And now we got Coach Z, who's bigger than me, and Coach Gunther and Coach Zimmer. Is just so much accountability in that room. And I don't even know defensively how many flags did we get on defense? Like, just dumb penalties on defense.
We ended up catching up to them in penalties by the end of the game.
Was that on offense?
At like 10 or 11.
I would imagine it was mostly on offense.
Carson, I know, got one.
I think it was just Carson. I don't remember seeing.
But I tell you what, we're not doing. We're not hitting guys late. We're not jumping off sides. We're not.
Well, that's because Sam Williams is hurt.
You're going to jail.
And you can make the argument that if Sam was healthy, then Michael Antoine Zimmer would not be having that stuff.
Okay. No, to your point though, I felt like they knew what they were dealing with right away.
Sure.
They came at every one of Deshaun Watson's weaknesses. They wanted him to.
Which is everything. Trash.
All of them.
Y'all gotta stop it.
All the weaknesses.
But they did some
hour.
rush contain things, but also too were able to get him in situations where he was scrambling and he was so indecisive. They were able to pinch down on him when they needed to. Like I said before, he's probably going to be nervous to play the Cowboys again if he has to play them again, because everybody got a piece, as you said, with all the QB hits. Which
is interesting because I do feel like individually, I can't think of a play where it was like so-and-so just whooped so-and-so and got to the quarterback. I feel like it is still very Micah-driven, even though there was a bunch of sacks by a bunch of dudes. I feel like a lot of it was, Micah made him go that way, and you got a sack. And Micah made him go that way, and you got a sack. But, yeah, as a unit, that was – I'm interested to see the number of pressures.
Yeah.
Because they got, 6 sacks?
D-Law got some. Osa got
6
some.
sacks.
Micah should have had 4.
Yes, he had 1, and he probably should have had 4.
I was weird, like how many.
Like Deshaun just ran through a Micah tackle.
It was a couple. It was weird.
Well,
maybe
Watson
first game of
Watson last year in 6 games got sacked 17 times. So maybe that was a part of the game plan. Like, hey, go get him. He's either going to throw this bubble. There was even this one play where Micah just dropped back in coverage, just for whatever reason,
and they got a sack.
And it seemed like that one read that Watson was just kind of reading and he didn't have his backup plan, it just ended up being a sack. Or where they kind of let Micah free and they were reading Micah, but Micah was so dynamic, bat the ball away, and that just ends up being this pick for Kendricks, right? So, hey man, we all working together, and Watson just couldn't seem to get out of his own way, and that's also a sign of good game planning and good coaching and good temperament and good ass work.
Now, to your point, that this linebacker core, people who watched this Cowboys team last year are looking at this linebacker core now, and they know it looks totally different. Some of the things that they did at the line of scrimmage, containing the edge, coming up and filling with certainty, it was exciting to see, because I feel like we've really lacked that as a defense, that second level defense that is decisive and physical and authoritative. Kind of the linebacker core really started the party.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive line got after it, but the linebacker core to me is really Erick Kendricks set the tone very early. Hey man, that ain't gonna work out here.
Yeah, when they kept him clean early for, what was it? It was a run stop for like no gain. It was like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then Deshaun Watson's like, okay, I know how we got to do then. What we got to do is we got to throw these little quick hitters outside to somebody, and then they can go upfield. And then it was like, when he tried that, guess who was standing there? Overshown.
Sure.
To wipe out Njoku. And it was like, oh, so these suckers can fly a little bit.
Also, too, guys, let's just not be rude. I know we're just gushing over Overshown, but Erick Kendricks was really sharp, and he didn't look like an old man. And he just seems to be, I don't want to say this because this man is an absolute Cowboy legend, but he was, that whole Sean Lee thing where I kind of see what you're doing prior to you doing it, and it makes me get there quicker.
Yeah.
Erick Kendricks was all over the place because he could see it.
Yeah.
And we can make this argument about your linebacker core last year is just that when Van Der Esch was on the field, he told everybody what to do. But when Van Der Esch was hurt, we're all just on our own, right?
Yeah.
And it just seems like you could tell Kendricks was just ahead of the game, and everybody else was just kind of ahead of the game with him.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for all those guys. I know Vigil came in late. Kendricks was just an old man. Cooks was also an old man. But we're waiting to get word back from some of our friends that are beat writers to give me some word on Ferguson because I'm upset and I'm shook and I'm waiting.
And they ain't said nothing. It's stressing me out too.
I bet we'll find out tomorrow. And we're going to find out he's okay.
We're reading supers. We are reading.
Are we going to? We'll do it at the end.
At the end?
At the end of the show.
We'll read supers at the end.
Fire off those super chats. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Those are things we like.
And please don't be lazy. Continue to put fours and waters and nose wipes and bows and arrows and all this kind of shit in the chat. And legs for Brandon Aubrey, your lead scorer, Brandon Aubrey, please. And chat, please let us know if y'all wanted Brandon Aubrey to try for a 71-yard field goal, or were you cool with Mike McCarthy being conservative and just trying to get off the field. I would love to know what y'all think, but he could have shattered the damn record, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan Lewis did some good things as well today.
Damn right.
Handling that slot, and also too just coming up and open field tackling. There was opportunities for, thank you in the chat, there was opportunities for some of these plays to be bigger plays, and he just sure tackled, wrapped those ankles, and did what he could do. Joe Hoyt, our guy, just reported that Jake Ferguson exited the locker room with a bandage wrapped on his left knee, was limping as he walked out, didn't need any help. He didn't need any help walking though, so Michael McCarthy sucks. Yeah, says he was limping, says he has a bandage on his knee. Yeah.
Thanks, Joe Hoyt.
Shouts out to Joe.
Why does he get a bandage? He wasn't bleeding.
It's like ice or something. Maybe they put like ice on there and then wrapped it around the joint.
I don't. We're not going to talk about tight ends for now. Because if we don't have Jake Ferguson, I don't want to talk about tight ends ever again on this team until we get a new one.
I think your tight end, we're just talking about small jobs, dirty work, and auxiliary work. I think your tight ends and your running back Ezekiel, your fullback Ezekiel Elliott, pardon me. I think those guys did a really good job. I'm giving compliments. Your running backs Rico Dowdle and Hunter Liquid, your fullback Ezekiel Elliott, and your backup tight ends did a really good job of helping Tyler Guyton deal with Myles Garrett. If we walked into this game and said, all right, if Myles Garrett gets 1 sack and a couple of pressures, could we live with that? I think we'll be happy with that.
Yeah,
How did we feel about Lipke doing some things in the receiving game today?
I think everything about Lipke is just, okay, it's Mike McCarthy. I get it.
Cut him.
Like, he's fine.
Okay.
He can line up. When Ferg got hurt and they went to run 3 tight ends, he can go out there. If you really want to hand it to him, fine. He can lead block. He's a useful lead blocker. He can catch. Like, I get it. He's a good football player.
Mm-hmm.
Fullbacks just weird me out.
I see y'all in the chat, name dropping Zeke and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
I thought Zeke was freaking incredible.
He was fantastic. His 10 carries for 40 yards. You crazy? And that one touchdown run where he went like 2 feet and Zach Martin killed that man. Yeah, of course. Of course, I could have scored. I couldn't have scored, but Rico could have scored it quicker.
Way quicker.
Deuce Vaughn would have got there something more.
That's right. We just had to wait 17 games for this to play out, or maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But for now, I would like to thank Zeke Elliott for doing exactly his job, getting the yards that were blocked, scoring when it was handed to him on the goal line, and blocking.
Let me ask y'all this. So Dak got his money today and he got paid, and this would have been a terrible segment on the big networks if Dak would have gotten his money and went out there and just laid a damn stinker. How do you guys think Ford did today? I know he opened up a little hot and he got a little cold, and maybe your play caller got a little lax and tentative and all that kind of stuff. But I thought that just watching broadcast view, I thought that the Cowboys saw something downfield, so they kept pushing downfield, and they were trying Cooks downfield field. They tried Lamb, and Lamb got a lot of carries also. We'll talk about that later. But how do you guys think Ford did just as a whole?
I think he did fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm as big a Dak supporter as there is because I watch football.
Sure.
And I don't just like make up stuff. So like he's really, really, really good. And he's one of the most accurate throwers in the league. And I thought in the second half he wasn't a very accurate thrower. But they also had enough of a lead but I don't know, because my favorite thing was at the first play of the second half, and we watched the second half and they kind of dialed back to see like, can we just coast on this? And it turned out that they could. But the first play of the second half, Dak's the one that went, I'm going to throw a bomb.
Sure.
And I was like, I like that, even though it wasn't complete. But no, he missed probably 2 or 3 throws in the second half that I'm not used to him missing. And it was just like, that's not your best day at the office, but good enough to win by double digits against a playoff team. So we accept it. I would say it was fine.
We saw that it was a point in the second half where you saw that Cleveland, I think, maybe figure some things out offensively. Now, granted, defensively against the offense, the Cowboys offense. Now, I will say, I do think that they just started coasting after a while. Like, let's just be real here.
Sure.
Also, too, we consider no preseason, and I think that started to show a little bit towards the end. But Cleveland's defensive line was really starting to get some pressure towards the end. Yeah. And they also, too, started playing some stickier coverage on the backside. Saw CeeDee Lamb had a couple of Dak, most of those balls were low, but we did see CeeDee Lamb have some weird drops as well on those slant plays. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I thought that Dak did the job. When you're up by like 20 at the half, it's kind of weird.
No, it's human. Mm-hmm. I don't like it, but it's human.
No, I don't like it.
The coaches are trying to coach their way just to hold on and get to the end. No. And for a player, it's hard not to be like, and the other team's coming out, and if they have anything to them whatsoever, they're coming out on fire, down 20. But some of them will come out down 20 and be like, meh.
But we won't figure it out. Like, we won't know whether it was Cleveland figuring some things out or if Dallas was relaxing until we seen the film. Because I felt like Cleveland's defensive line was really starting to get some pressure towards the end of that third quarter. I know Myles Garrett had a few good plays on Guyton, but also too they were attacking Terrence Steele. So that's kind of what I thought about it. I
have a question, but I think I'll ask it after this break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a whole bunch more to get to on the DLLS Cowboys postgame show. And that includes your super chats. It includes talks about other rookies that we haven't gotten to, all sorts of stuff we've still got to get to here on the show. But before we do, I do need to tell you, EmpireToday.com/DLLS. If you need any sort of flooring done, Empire Today is who you need. $350 off if you go to EmpireToday.com/DLLS. They're the absolute best in the business when it comes to flooring. And there's a bunch of copycats, but they can't be beaten on quality, service, speed. So what a lot of competitors do is they advertise low-quality products that Empire's just not going to carry because they're low-quality products. They're not going to promise the lowest prices because whoever does that is just putting floors into your home that they wouldn't put in their own. They keep it simple, but they also have a curated product selection of going through thousands and thousands and making sure that there's plenty of looks and different, and you can see it on their virtual floor designer. They've got it's a great setup on Empire floors. And so you can get $350 off, EmpireToday.com/DLLS. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/DLLS for details. And I love talking about Sleeper because Sleeper lets you be a hater or you can cheer for people.
I don't think it's that type of Sleeper.
Sleeper is, once upon a time, I knew it as my fantasy football app where I had my leagues. But now it's where I go because what you can do is you can take players and you're saying, I think that Dak is going to have more yards than are projected. And I think that Zeke, obviously, is going to have more yards than what are projected because he's incredible. And I think Deshaun Watson's going to have less yards than are projected because he's trash. And then as you do that, the more things you pick, the multiplier of how much money you can make goes up to 100 times your money. Sleeper's awesome. I love it. Get up in the mix. So come on in, join the party, download the Sleeper app, and use the code DLLSBOYS to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Bow, bow. We hadn't even mentioned Kalen Carson.
Oh, man. You must be a damn boy.
Jeff, what did you write down? Kalen Carson.
What you doing? Hey, man, let me ask y'all a messy question.
Don't be messy.
Let me just be a little messy.
Don't be messy.
Oh, wow.
Man, Kalen Carson chased Amari Cooper around today. They was on the same side for the most part. It's cool.
It's cool.
Amari Cooper had like 2 catches for 16 yards. That's all right. He didn't really get free until Izzy got in the game and started being tall.
Yeah, it's not fair to put a tall corner who's a backup in on Amari Cooper.
Man, that's a hell of a wide receiver on the road to go out there and hold the 2 catches 16 yards, man. What happens when Deron Bland comes back?
Oh, no, don't be that type of message.
And look, and J. Lou went a little crazy also.
When Deron
happens when
Deron Bland comes back, Kalen Carson watches Deron Bland play.
But why?
And then a year from now, because Deron Bland's the best corner on this team. How about that?
This isn't about me sitting Deron Bland. This about, is Deron Bland going back to nickel or is Deron Bland playing outside? What do you do?
I get it.
Kalen Carson's your rookie, and he's going to be here longer.
Right.
I don't know nothing. I don't work for nobody. I'm just a dude with a microphone and camera and some lights, DLLS down on.
Well, these aren't your cameras and lights.
But Jordan Lewis may not be, like, he's not locked up as a Cowboy contract-wise.
Right. And so next year, Kalen Carson will be a starter.
Kalen Carson is, Deron Bland is, and Trevon Diggs is.
Yeah.
Do you start that trio early? I almost called him a threesome. Do you start that trio early and maybe sit Jordan Lewis out? And the reason I asked you that, because when we were looking at Bland, Gilly, Diggs last year, Jordan Lewis was the guy that would sit down in that trio of guys. So now you got the young guy, Kalen Carson, that's going to be here for a long time, and he looked impressive today versus an assassin in Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
What do you do when Deron Bland comes back? Not that you're sitting Deron Bland, but is this a way that you sit Jordan Lewis and make Carson your outside guy?
I don't think so. I don't think so, just because J. Lou is incredibly intelligent. Number one, he might have been your best corner to finish the year last year, and he had a really good game today.
Great
I don't know. And also too, when you look at, and it's nothing wrong with Deron Bland. There were several instances where I didn't necessarily like him in the slot. I thought that he had trouble getting through trash sometimes. Keep him where he is, but when Deron Bland does come back, this is a fracture, right? A stress fracture, right? They're gonna have to kind of slow play this. I don't think that he's gonna come back and be 100% right away. He's going to still have to find confidence in planting, especially with the way that he plays. So I think that they're probably going to slow play it and have Carson kind of slowly transition back, out of the defense and put Deron Bland back out there. Y'all think it's going to be a quick thing?
No, well, I think I'm thinking through it, because initially my first thought was to tell Vach, that's an unfair question to ask after one game when we still have a month to wait before we have to even worry about Deron Bland. But then I remembered Clarence Hill yelling at me, and he made a great point. When he was talking, because he was doing after one game in Baltimore, he was like, Derrick Henry, 3.5 yards. You guys wanted him, right? Yeah. And it was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not sure who you're talking to, not at all. And I was like, and you really they're going to say he sucks after 1 week? And he was like, well, we do a show every day. Sure. We can only talk about what just happened.
Talk about
so it must be a fair question.
Plans make sense sometimes.
Yeah. And so what makes it weird is because of what you're saying, like Jordan Lewis is the only guy out of all 4 of them that is a slot, right? Sure. We want to keep putting Deron there, or maybe we might want to eventually put Carson there. Sure. Because, a year from now, we're going to have all 3 of our corners are going to be outside guys.
Right.
So one of them is going to have to go there. Sure. So maybe
you put Bland back. That's what you're saying. Maybe you put Bland back at nickel.
I think Bland, and it's weird.
Maybe Carson's a nickel.
I think it's weird because Bland's best position might be a nickel, but he's a Pro Bowl outside guy.
Right.
Like he's an All-Pro outside guy.
And Jordan Lewis did have a great game today. Like, I love the way that he plays the slot. But the thing is I think it definitely works for Carson. I'd have to really think about Bland, because what I think about with the nickel is not only do you need to be able to match quickness, but you got to be a tough son of a bitch. Like, you got to be willing to hit people and fight through stuff and play the run. And just one game of Carson today, I'm watching, I'm like, that's a tough dude.
Yeah.
You know who will love this, though? You know who will love this? Dan Quinn, so we could play more dime and go out there on the goal line and just run 4 corner. Dan Quinn would love this shit. He'll run all these, and that's what he'll do.
Don't upset me.
That's what Dan Quinn will do.
Well, I thought it was not that Carson was perfect.
No.
He got away with being early on one, which I appreciate, because then they got away with being early on one on CD, which was messed up. And he did have a penalty. But, I thought for a rookie on the road starting, I won't say 5th-round pick because I don't care where you're drafted, and he's better than that. But, those overall results, he's just a dude that he's unbothered and unfazed by whatever.
That's one of my favorite things about him.
Sure. Nealand was the same thing. Like, those are the 2 rookies that showing up to camp and watching each day, you would have had no idea those two were rookies. It's just like, no, I'm here where I belong, and I'm just going to beat these guys who are pros. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Then to be fair, somebody in the chat said, well, Vaj, can we be 1-0 for 24 hours and not disrupt the cornerback room?
Yeah, why are you trying to bench Jordan Lewis,
My name ain't Mike McCarthy, dog. I ain't Jerry John. We just talking. This content, dog. What's going on in the chat? Somebody call Cleveland trash?
Well, that's okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Bland will be the outside linebacker. Nah, man, Cleveland is not trash. They just don't have a good quarterback right now that they have guaranteed money to, that they paying $72 million next year.
I don't get it, y'all.
Like,
I don't get it.
That's a good-ass team.
They were Cleveland. No, they're a good team. Banged up offensive line.
That's a really good team.
And bad quarterback.
But who were their scouts when they decided to pay this man? Like, this last quarterback class.
It was desperation. It was like 3 years ago, right?
Teams suck at this. Teams aren't good at team building.
It's sad.
Oh, wait. No. They extended him, didn't they?
Yes.
Okay, for cap room stuff. Because Cleveland's weird. They're
fully guaranteed.
They extended him, and you're sitting here watching him, and you just like...
He can't play. He looks like a bad rookie.
Not my problem.
He looks like Trey Lance.
I told you... Now, see, you always got to
for real. Like, it's one read, good athlete.
Jalen Hurts.
No, but I did
Jalen
say
Hurts
that this week. It's like
Jalen
sometimes you watch him and you feel like you're watching a second-year player.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, okay. So here's the question. What you got?
That's a fantastic point from Ride Trap. Shouts out to you. I was listening to Dak, and we were in and out of Here We Go and Silent Count, and we had no issues from our new center, Cooper Beebe. Rookie coming in there, played guard his whole life, and he's having to navigate sounds, and Zach Martin doing this in his face, and big people across from him, Dalvin Tomlinson, 330 some odd pounds, and all that crowd noise and audible and all that kind of stuff. And Cooper Beebe just fantastically went out there and started beating the hell out of people. Kudos to you, sir. Here.
That QB sneak made Vach so happy. Well, at first it was 3rd and 1, and I think you yelled something like, "This is what you're here for, Zeke."
I was expecting
QB sneaked it.
I was expecting Zeke to get another 1-yard gain, but Dak Prescott did his job. Shouts out to him. He just ran behind 3 powerful dudes, and that's what we envision with this offensive line: 3 powerful dudes.
How'd y'all feel about the run defense today?
Way better than I expected. Way better than I expected. And we will have to go. Is that a product of their banged up offensive line or what? But when you go look at it, like, they didn't have big runs. They didn't have their consistent gains were like 1 or 2 yards.
Yeah. I
was pleasantly surprised, not by the guys on the outside, but that the interior you didn't notice just getting washed or pushed back. And I was like, how about that?
I'll tell you why the run defense was good. Get my KaVontae button ready.
Antoine Zimmer.
No. Get my KaVontae button ready. I'll tell you why the run defense was good. Because they didn't have to defend the run all damn day.
That's right.
Oh, man.
What that has to do with me.
They earned pass rush.
Yeah.
They earned pass rush. And run defense is tiresome. I played a little bit of D-line in my life, man. Run defense is tiresome. It's just people running at you and you looking around at people that's not hitting you.
Were you a hefty kid?
I played center most of my life, but when you in high school, center, offensive line, play D-line. Same old thing. And I think if you have to play so much run defense, you get tired of run defense. You get demoralized by run defense. Cowboys stopped the run for 3 series, and shit, we was pass rush. We was having fun. We was attacking. We was in attack mode at that point. So I think the run defense was so good because you didn't have to do so much of it. But besides that, your D-line was stout, and I think what the difference was, your linebackers were big, but they ass was fast. Overshown, I'm right back to bring him up again. He was like on the opposite hash, and they did a little dunk thing to the far left, and he outrunning everybody. To the opposite side of the field. And it's just a little different, man. Shouts out to Michael Antoine Zimmer.
Yeah, and every guy outside of Micah that like plays on the edges is now a stout run defender. So dudes like Kendricks and Overshown are just like, "Oh, this looks fun."
Yeah.
That guy's not going to get away from you and get to me. I'm going to go there.
A nuanced point. Let me just ask you guys this. Do you think it has something to do with, okay, we saw Micah play a lot over the right tackle, DeJuan Jones. And that made D-Law play the other side. And typically teams run away from D-Law. Do you think that it meant something making your best run defending D-line your weak side edge guy? Do you think that means something? Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but the first thing I noticed, I say, hey, D-Law's on the other side over there. And he's typically over there. And when he's on that side, they run away to the other side. Do you think it means something that D-Law was your weak run defender today?
I think it could, but I have a bad answer because I'm going to have to wait and see numbers on it. Because I know I saw Mike on the other side.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely played both. but he caused the false start
over the right tackle
left.
left.
Yeah.
But I feel like there were instances where Marshawn Nealon was like, did he play in the interior at all?
Yeah, that's
he
the
played some A
NASCAR.
and B gap.
The
Yep.
NASCAR.
Oh, okay.
When they would put out "Here We Come," like Dak's "Here We Go."
That's the name of it.
Third and 8 is "Here We Come." I just decided.
You made it up.
Yeah, third and 8 is "Here We Come."
I was who said that?
So on "Here We Come," they were going Tank, Micah, Nealand, Osa.
Yeah.
So and that's a pretty good group.
It seemed like it's pretty hard. It was
Osa got
pretty hard
busy
to
today.
deal with. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good group. That's fun. Kevin, no. Sorry, I wasn't ready for that to be the drop just for anything. No. I just did that
it's
on my
fine
own.
because my sounds are gonna be integrated next week, and it's gonna be a lot more even here. Chat, we're up here talking about post game stuff. If y'all have any questions, we see you. I'm looking right at you.
Yes.
Shouts out to Trio 2X. Shouts out to Havoc, Big Pat, Big LEX, Authentic John. I like we see y'all. So if y'all have questions, we can absolutely tap in with y'all while we're up here having a conversation amongst ourselves.
6.
Yeah, just only firing good ones.
Huh?
Only
Somebody
good
said
ones.
Nealon had 6 pressures. 6.
Oh,
I need to see the advanced analytics.
They
man,
said
because
Micah had 9 and led the league this week.
But you know what? I don't disagree. I don't like. I can't prove otherwise right now because we just watched it one time. But man, Deshaun Watson was running for his life.
Yeah.
He was mad. He was pouting, and them people was booing him.
Yeah, that was great.
That made
was
me
great.
sad for them, to be honest.
Oh no,
There's nothing like getting booed at home. Like
you have
that.
to let your empathy go when it's sports time.
No,
You have to let it go.
Do y'all not see how I act? I'm ruthless.
You have to-
But I will say, it's no fun getting booed at your
You weren't getting
crib.
booed.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
We were partying. The team we went to was
Yeah, we
kicking
were
their
having a
ass.
good time.
It was
I was
great.
kicking it.
We're having a good
We're having
time.
a great time. We'll get your super chats next. We'll get your questions next. We'll get all of your things next. So keep them
4
coming
to
in.
6.
Smash the thumbs up button, not the thumbs down. I see the 14 of you, and I don't know if we can figure out who you are. I don't know. But even if we could,
Jeff, that don't matter, man. When the
1,500 thumbs up.
overwhelming majority is way bigger than that. Don't
Thank
worry
you
about
for the
them
likes.
14 Browns fans, man. Come on now.
thank you
Yeah.
for the likes and for joining us on the debut.
Aaron Chase says,
Vach
Vach,
and
how do you?
DLLS.
Aaron Chase says, Vach, how do you feel about Zeke's first huddle? It made me want to throw up. I was like, this ain't what you do. This ain't your game, dog. Keep your feet on the ground and run somebody over. I think. Now, to be fair, me and Jeff did funnily say, is funnily a thing?
Yeah, sure.
Hilariously said.
Yeah.
Number 15 does make Zeke look a little slimmer.
Yeah,
He does look a little
I was
smaller.
going to say quicker, but he didn't look quick.
But I don't know why his ass left the ground. That is not his game. I don't want Zeke jumping over people. I need Zeke to be a little more physical, putting his head down, thumping.
And it's so
he did it for
frustrating
us.
because you can see he still has the vision.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And he's
You
still like he
see
can do
him-
all the running back things.
Yeah, you see
Except
him,
go
you
fast.
see it, but like there's just no
But it'd be so close.
acceleration. There's just no
But so far
acceleration.
away.
The speed is not. The speed
I was
is
like,
not quite there.
dang,
His
bro.
body can't carry him. His body can't carry him.
Today was good enough. If he could do that for 17, I take it.
And I'm gonna need the
Not
offensive line
4.0, I
to
need
not
4.5.
do.
10 carries for 40. Yeah.
I'm gonna need the offensive line to not do to Rico what they did to Deuce last year. Like for the
Oh,
love,
they didn't block for Rico.
They didn't do a damn
for
thing
the
for Rico.
love of muffins,
They blocked for Rico. What
They
did
block
did
they do?
for this man.
They ain't do a damn thing for Rico, and I was ashamed.
Oh my god.
They must love Zeke.
I was ashamed.
Maybe they need to get a feel for how he attacks, how he hits the hole, like or whatever.
Yeah,
the case may
slowly.
be.
So block longer. Oh no,
No,
Rico.
I'm talking about Rico.
Block
Maybe
faster.
they need to get a grasp for like how he runs the ball because I'm just sitting up here like he's not getting the same amount of like push and stuff as Zeke is right now. And
It's
it was
just
driving me
variance.
bonkers.
It's just not. As they
It's
play a
driving me
bunch more
bonkers.
plays, it'll even out, and we'll see.
Somebody asked Vach, was I happy about how the running backs were used? You know, it's
Deuce got one carry.
It's a slippery slope when you have a running back committee group or whatever, because I tend to believe that running backs get rhythms and they have to feel the game, and the more that they run, the more that they feel the game or whatever. So I think that I don't think Rico got an opportunity to get high. I don't think Zeke got an opportunity to get high. Plus, after the blowout happens, I would love to see Deuce get involved so we can see if he has anything, and if not, leave him off the active roster.
No, I thought you made a good point too. Though is like we saw early in this game that Dallas felt like they could take advantage of this defense by passing the ball.
For sure.
They caught them in some situations. Were able to get some passes downfield, and so maybe the game plan was to attack in the air. And not just be trying to, go at this run game, their run defense for no reason.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I just enjoyed beating the brakes off of Cleveland.
Hell
That was a great way to start the season.
Man, you know how many people in this chat after a W, man, half of these people, you know how many thumbs down would be? Go on break.
No thumbs down. Yes, but keep your questions coming. We'll get to your super chats. And right before we do, I just want to encourage everybody that's here right now to head over to alldlls.com/diehard. What we want you to do is we want you to sign up to be a diehard. We also want you to hit the thumbs up. We'll make sure you subscribe to the channel. But we want you to sign up to be a diehard. What happens when you do that is you get a free shirt when you sign up, and the merch is awesome. The shirts are badass. Mine are on the way. And every year after, you'll get another free shirt. You get 20% off merch always. You get 20% off all events that we do. You get in the Diehards Only Discord. And like, this is your one-stop shop place for all DFW sports. Like, we're here doing Cowboys, but we're just with Abby and Rads and the Rangers folks were just here. And we got the Stars folks, we got the Mavs folks. And it's all great. And you can sign up, get in the Discord server where we all hang out and we chat. There's exclusive merch. There's a physical Die Hard card. There's premium content on the website. Die Hard's only bonus podcasts are coming soon. So we got all sorts of cool stuff for you. And we would love for you to join us and be a Die Hard of DLLS because it's fun.
Yeah.
And we demand it.
You gotta stop demanding.
It would be very appreciated.
Yes.
If you would sign up.
Por favor.
To be a Die Hard.
Thank you.
And hit the thumbs up.
Gracias.
And make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hell, turn on the notifications if you're bored. All right, let's get to people.
Yes.
Let's get to people. Oh, man, somebody literally sent a super chat just to make sure you had to see. Zeke looked better than Dowdle, Vach.
They both look terrible. What you mean?
What?
or they both look regular.
Both look fine.
Or they both look pedestrian.
they
both look
right.
nice. Yeah, okay, cool. They both look nice. Yeah, what you mean?
They both look fine.
Appreciate you, player.
Cowboys need to use Turpin more in the offense. Here's the thing about that. I agreed in camp because the exact route that he ran in the game where they threw him the ball, he ran that a lot in camp. And he kept getting open and he kept catching the ball even on the goal line. And then we got to the regular season, and the first time they ran it, he dropped the hell out of it.
Yeah. That's the thing about Turpin is like, I feel like he gets so jittery.
He be shaking.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just waiting for him to find a little bit more control in his game. If he could find that and find some calmness in his route running, I think he could be a fantastic receiver. But it just feels like he's so anxious, and then we get the drops and we get Clarence is here.
Oh,
okay.
Clarence wants to talk? Oh, can we rattle through the super chats first?
Yes.
Can we just rattle them? Can you just pop them up on the screen? Like, because we got to say thanks to Steven and JJ and Trevon. Worst performance of the day goes to Tom Brady. I don't think he's going to be very good at that job, but maybe one day. JJ, wings money. Oh, we love wings.
Thanks.
Is that Trevon?
Trevon Williams, that's my guy. Shouts out to you, player. Overshown gonna be a whole problem. Speed, discipline, and physicality at every level. Appreciate you, player.
Don't make me hype.
Overshown as a spy is crazy from Mr. Leotis. David J. Vach, give it up for 15. There's another Zeke super chat for you. Cowboys win from Daniel. Y'all hit the like and sub buttons. Look at that, promoting us while super chatting.
Shouts out to Brother Reeves.
We couldn't keep Pollard, but we could pay Zeke and Lance. Okay, yeah, Pollard was great today. The defense got better, and Zimmer we trust. Thank you, Mr. Antoine. I'm liking what I see so far from Zach. Mr. Leotis. Flip your water bottle since you don't have the buttons.
Please don't walk past Zach Golson, man. Zach Golson dropped 200 in that damn thing. Go back.
Wait,
hit
oh my
Kavanaugh
God.
with your blind ass.
I just saw, I like what I see so far. I didn't even see the number. Holy crap.
Kavanaugh, please.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. I was like,
man, Zach Golson dropped 200 in that thing. He says, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Zach Golson also hit the show personally, man. So appreciate you, sir. So why the cop? Now finish. Now move on.
Can I move in with you? Thank you to Wesley. Keep up the great content. Let's go Cowboys. Nipsey. Defense is going to be top 8. Once the offense gets going, we're going to be scary, and that will happen. The Cowboys offense is going to be wonderful. What do you think Zeke's 40 time would be today? 4.8, give or take? Will, that defense played sound and disciplined. Dak didn't need to be a hero. True. Wolfpack, Vach, keep trying to poo-poo on Zeke like he did not play Rico. Solid Doug. If we can get a Kavanaugh, then we can get a war call. We will. We will. I sent the audio to her. Zeke looked better than we already did that one. Cowboys, we did that one. We did that one.
Zeke looked better than Dowdle.
Did he?
But shit.
Y'all let it go.
Thomas, how was Tyler Guyton scale 1 to 10 today? I have no idea until we watch tape. I'll say 7 just for the hell of it for now. Gonzo, how confident are we in our tight end room? If Ferg is out for a while, 0 on a scale of 1 to 10. Andre, Turpin, too much speed to not use him in plays. Catch the ball. How about that? Bam! Let's go to Clarence Hill. He's in Cleveland.
They're going to ride for that 10 for 40.
Clarence. Clarence. Brandon Aubrey makes the 71-yard field goal.
Where is he?
You got Clarence? Katya's on it.
Clarence, tell us that Ferg is okay.
Clarence, what are you doing? Oh,
hey,
he's on the field.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, Clarence.
I'm on the field.
What are you doing?
What's up, people? How are you doing?
Joe.
Is Joe behind you?
What?
Is Joe
That's
behind
Joe.
you?
We're out there on the field.
All right, can you tell me if Jake Ferguson's okay, please?
Dak said it's good news so far. They still have to do x-rays, and so there's no definitive word at this point, but so far it's been good news. Jake felt good about it. So obviously it's always good news until you get the x-rays, until they get the test to come back. But so far so good on Jake Ferguson.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Hell yeah. Well, what else? You just want to party?
Hey, what a game. What an interesting game. Looked like a mock game in the second half. The Cowboys just going through the motions because Cleveland had one first down in the first half. The defense was smothering what they did early on. It looked like Texas, Michigan to me. You know, I don't know if you guys know what happened on yesterday. It looked like Texas, Michigan early. But I had to sneak it in. But seriously, I mean, to come up here on the road when the Cowboys have struggled on the road and to dominate like they did. I know they didn't have their tackles and Deshaun Watson was rusty, but the Cowboys put on a clinic, certainly in the first half, early in the third quarter. And they looked like they were just going through the motion the rest of the way. And they certainly got sloppy. It's one thing that, Dak and Mike McCarthy talked about is their sloppiness in the second half, but this was not even a contest. Cleveland was non-competitive. And the crazy thing is they wouldn't even got that one touchdown in the third quarter, not for the referees or the officials bungling the play because both teams thought it was fourth down. I did a pool report, talked to the line dealer. He said both teams thought it was fourth down. But they moved the chains and made it first down, even though the down marker still said fourth down. And so that's what Mike McCarthy was upset about, because if he was knowing it was fourth down, or he was knowing it was the first down, he would have challenged the call. He would have challenged the ruling on the field because that ball looked short.
Yeah. Hey, when you just like a minute ago, when you started this answer, I just want to know if what I saw in the background is what I thought. Did a security person make you move?
No, they're cleaning up stuff. We're on the field. We're the only people on the field, and it's not a security person. They're getting wires and stuff off the field, and so they're trying to clean up. Everybody's gone. This place is empty. So the Browns fans emptied out here in the third quarter, certainly early in the fourth quarter, kind of like Michigan. But it was a Cowboys takeover. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Chill, let me ask you a question. It's Vash Lombardi. What's happening? Everybody in the audience wants to know, because Zeke just looked brand new. He just looked like such a young, fast, spry running back. What was the run game like in person?
Is that what my man over there, Jeff Kavanaugh, believes? I mean, that don't sound like.
That's the audience. That's what the audience saying. The audience says that, Zeke just got a new pep in his step for his 10 yards and 10 carries and 40 yards. They just said that it looked like he got new life. Jumping over people, running over people, running away from people. What'd you see in person?
You so petty.
I think he looked better than most people expected. Because we didn't see much of him in training camp. We didn't, certainly we didn't see him at all. He showed some spring, some spine. It's certainly that leap early on. He still got the leap. But it's not the Zeke of old. It's not, two-time rushing champion Zeke. The running game still needs to be better. I think CeeDee Lamb was what gave the running game a spark. He had the longest carries, or the biggest play from the running game for sure. But, this day was really about Dak, getting that money and not being a distraction. Certainly the team and everybody in the locker room was so happy for him. They didn't let it be a distraction leading up to the game. It wasn't a distraction during the game. Everybody wants Rolexes. He said everybody wants Rolexes. They're going around the locker room, trying to get their wrist size because they want Rolexes. Dak owes them Rolexes. So he said he has to buy some Rolexes.
Clarence, did you have any other injuries to report? Anything else that was concerning to you?
No. Brandin Cooks left because of he had cramps. And certainly Erick Kendricks was dehydrated, but he was fine. He talked to us after the game. But other than that, it seemed like, the Cowboys came through injury free, and get ready to go and face those Saints who shockingly blew out Carolina. I guess it was shockingly. Carolina must be bad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No. We have a super chat from Gonzo. He wants to know, Clarence, you giving more credit to Zim or McCarthy?
Oh, Zim, for sure. This defense was smothering. And you saw the making. And again, as Micah Parsons said, you got to understand the Browns were out there 2 tackles, and Deshaun was rusty. They had a starting running back, and that Big Chubb. but this defense was smothering. You saw the speed. I told y'all about 1-3. Y'all didn't want me to talk about 1-3 last week.
We've been
I kept doing 1-3 early in the week. 1-3 showed up, and DeMarcus Lawrence, Kendricks had his first 2-sack game since 2016.
Wow.
DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons said he missed about 3 sacks because Deshaun Watson was clearly hard to get on the ground because they should have 10 more sacks, it seemed like.
Never mind.
But they stopped the running game. I mean, and then, Trevon Diggs intercepts the ball. Now, we need Kalen Carson to catch balls. We need him to catch balls because he had a pick he should have caught. But Kendricks had a pick and 2 sacks. I mean, it's crazy. But the defense, what Zimmer did, it seemed like he was, in his bag. As much as Mike certainly had things going early with a couple of that certainly an impressive touchdown drive. Mike Zimmer, this is what you want. The players, Micah Parsons, they all talked about Zimmer's defense after the game. And DeMarcus Lawrence, they're glad he's on their side.
So, Chill, how do you think, Brandon Aubrey is going to be used as an offensive weapon from here on out? 66 yards and he hits it kind of easy. The referees kind of, poo-poo on that. But Mike McCarthy didn't want to kick the 71, and I guess you've asked him later. What's it going to be like moving forward to have this kicker that can kick 71-yard field goals if your offense just happens to stall?
Well, yeah, and I think that you're talking about something in the halves. That's what you want, in the half opportunity. You may not do that in the first or second quarter, going that deep but at the end of the half opportunity, I saw it, when they punted the ball back, and then I said they're going to move, they're going to get in position for a long field goal. And that's what he wants. So you have a chance to steal points in the half. That 66-yarder would have gone from 60 to 72. We're talking to Mike McCarthy. They put a returner back there. And so they didn't want a chance, a big return. You remember the kick 6 from Auburn, Alabama. You got those linemen out there. You go short, they have a chance to return a long one because you don't really have guys that can tackle on the field. But I said Aubrey was in a zone. It seemed like 50-yarders of chip shots, as you saw today.
Yeah.
And he was good from 72. He would have been good from 71 on that first kick. I would have gave him a shot for sure. But you have to be smart. The game is at hand. Do not give them momentum. And that's the smart thing. It's certainly in the second half. The Cowboys didn't need to do anything exotic on offense. Just don't turn the ball over, give them any momentum because Cleveland was doing nothing by themselves.
Yeah, no. I knew it was a smart thing, but I still hated it because I just want to do what makes me happy. And that's what made me happy is for him to try. Clarence, 1-3 forever. Hook 'em. Take that, Michigan, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, guys, man. Have a good time. We're going to go right now. Me and Joe are going to do a video. We're going to write tomorrow, and we'll be back on the show.
All right, go
Take
get some
care
honey,
of yourself,
some
Clarence.
tea.
Right,
Michael,
guys, thank you.
let's get out. Cat, can we just get rid of him? We don't like him.
Don't say that.
Michael says, our defense was massaging Watson all day. See, I thought they were hitting him way harder than I thought they were really hitting him. I didn't think it was
Y'all
very
take
soft.
stuff so far.
Sir.
I didn't think that at all.
Chill out.
How you guys doing? You guys good? You happy?
Yeah.
Everybody happy?
No, this is a hell of a start to the season, man.
I like being 1-0. I like blowing people out on the road to go to 1-0 when Vegas says you're going to lose
You
by
got
2.5.
the Saints at the house next week.
I like not getting punked out by physical teams.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's not always about the superstar guys. Sometimes it's about your role players. Shouts out to Guns on the chat. He says, first half we had a lot of motion, sweeps, etc. Why do we get away from that in the second half?
Coasting.
Gonzo, sometimes if you feel like the game is out of hand for, whatever, sometimes you may just change up what you want to do. So maybe we walked into this thing saying, okay, I'm going to run these 9 plays and I'm going to use them later on in week 9 because I set them up here. Well, we beating the hell out of the Browns using fundamentals and regular stuff and slants and bubbles and regular screens and draws. So maybe next week versus the Saints, we'll take those 5 or so plays that we left over and we'll proceed to put that on film and they'll, study us. And hey, maybe we'll get a CeeDee Lamb jet sweep pass one day or like a Turpin double reverse off of that Lamb sweep look. But very good observation for you, sir, because if we can't get run game going with running backs, you damn well better get it with wide receivers, and Brandin Cooks had one too.
I will ask y'all, are y'all looking for less blowouts this year?
No.
Why you want that?
What?
I don't. Yell at me.
I'm trying to beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
No,
why?
Can I say beat the shit?
Yeah, I mean, we don't often.
Can I say beat
technically?
the
Yes.
The shift. I say a shift for real.
Yeah, I know I don't do a lot of cursing.
Beat the shot out of
Technically, you can.
Okay.
We try to keep it clean for the kids.
I want to beat the shucks out of everybody.
No,
Yeah.
but I say that because you were in this situation a lot last year where your quarterback didn't even touch the fourth quarter a lot of times. I think I know obviously we think that's a good thing and that feels good, but what happens with, you just mentioned, what happens with those plays that you're not running anymore or whatever the case may be because you're taking your foot off the gas? There's nothing wrong with them being up and then relaxing a little bit. I mean, I think we want them to score more, Jeff.
What?
But
Yeah,
if
40
that's
burger.
what they decide, but if
Always.
they decide to take their foot off the gas, it is what it is. You want to get out healthy. This is week 1.
Yeah.
It's a lot more football to play.
To your point, maybe we do want one of those games like, Seattle last year where we got to fight for something and we have to practice what it looks like being in a close game. You know what I'm saying? Like doing it in games make you better at it when it happens in games. So sure. But if you can blow teams out, just keep blowing teams out.
Well, I only say that because Mike McCarthy mentioned it numerous times last year that was unique to him. That he had never coached a team that blew out so many teams.
Yeah.
And then their starters aren't playing in the second half. And I do think there's something to be said about building some of that situational.
Oh, for sure.
stuff.
I just think it's the balance. Like, to me, I would rather, because like the sign of great teams is you beat the brakes off people.
Yeah.
And so I want to be the team that beats the brakes off people.
I definitely do too.
But sure, there's value to being in those struggles all the time. If you promised me they were going to win a bunch of them, then I would say, absolutely, I'll take it. But if I have to go in there and the result is unknown, I'm out.
And look, Ravens coming, San Fran's coming, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll definitely have tougher games to play in. We'll definitely have tougher post game shows here in the future. So appreciate y'all for this week 1. Salute.
Oh, they'll go 17-0.
That was a good time.
Damn straight.
Shout out to the great Voch Lombardi joining
14-3.
us on the
Messing with me.
Yeah, no, I think 17-0. Shout out to Voch Lombardi, the DLLS Cowboys post game show. Shout out to Aisha. I'm a guy, and we appreciate you hanging out. Make sure you're mashing the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And remember,
Be nice.
be nice. You have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Why would you say that?
Welcome.
We all silly like the mayor.